Are now going to be joined live by Marc Schulman, a columnist for Newsweek and the author of the Tel Aviv Diary. Hello, good evening to you. We miss you here in the studio.
My pleasure, Emma. Miss you as well, Emma.
So talk about, first of all, explain these tariffs, how it's going to affect us here in Israel. I mean, we know this has been something that's been discussed. We're seeing already the fallout in the U.S., people lining up to buy cars as quickly as they can before things change. But how is it going to affect us, the consumer, in Israel?
Okay, the consumer is going to affect very little. It will affect, however, well, let me rephrase that. It'll affect consumer in the sense that world prices will go up on everything across the board because the tariffs will be an excuse to raise prices everywhere. So we'll see a rise in prices regardless of whatever it is. Inflation will be worldwide, and that, of course, will affect us. The effects will be more on Israeli exporters, and those can be divided into 2 or 3 groups. Number one, the majority of our exports to the United States are services. In other words, high-tech companies doing development work and exporting that development work to the United States. It's not clear whether services are included or not. That detail is sort of open at the moment. If it is, what I think we'll see is a lot of Israeli companies moving their IP to the United States, and the profits that they make will all be taken from the United States, and we'll lose.
Which I'm sure they would welcome, exactly. I'm sure the U.S. would be happy to do that.
Right, and then we'll lose all the tax money that will be coming from Israel. We'll see also other problems. Companies like Intel, which has been going up and down because of its own problems and building an additional plant, will decide Israel should not be the place to build the plant, and they'll put more money into their plants in Arizona and other places. So we'll see that. And we have physical exports as well. Those will be hurt. I doubt our defense exports will be hurt to the United States. I don't think the United States is going to tax itself on defense exports, so that won't be hurt. The biggest problem, of course, is just overall the putting barriers into trade slows trade down, makes it more expensive, makes things more difficult all over the world. We'll have a strange situation. It'll probably be less expensive to buy an iPhone in Israel in next year than it is in the United States. We're all going to be smuggling things to the United States because it'll be cheaper here than it will be in the United States unless we put taxes on it.
Well, also with that said, as we're seeing this and you know, is the U.S. becoming isolationist again, what does that mean also for people, you know, in other countries, you know, that will be affected? I mean, because you have some countries that don't necessarily have U.S. cars or they don't have a car of their own. I mean, so I imagine there's going to be fallout and dominoes from that perspective as well.
Right. There are all sorts of dominoes. Look, from the moment he started killing USAID, which was providing services all over the world, some of it was wasteful, but a lot of it was really important. We're seeing a worldwide shift. China is going to walk into the vacuum that's being created. Yes, he's put incredibly high tariffs on Chinese goods, and that may hurt China in the short term. But people are going to start saying, well, we don't want to have economic relations with the United States. We can't really trust them. So people are going to increase their economic relations with China. And as we've seen with the tragedy in Myanmar, who's rushed in to help because the U.S. isn't there? The Chinese have rushed in to help. And we'll see that all over the world. U.S. influence will decrease, and U.S. economic dominance will decrease as well as a result. Look, world trade, the way it was, has been helping the United States all these years. The mistake that President Trump makes in his calculation is he just looks at import-exports. Oh, we're importing more than we're exporting. We must be losing. I look at it a different way because what are the richest companies in the world? Where are they all located? In the United States. Where are the richest people located? In the United States. Now, what's the problem over the last 40 years? Income disparities have gotten greater. And as a result, you know, the old statement, capital has been doing better than labor. And what should be done in situations like that is increase taxes on the wealthiest and figure ways of redistributing the great advantages they found because of globalization. But we didn't do that. We went the opposite way in the world.
Right.
And so there's greater disparity. This is a populist thing that some people really like because, hey, we're going to finally get back our manufacturing, which we'll never get back. You know, these supply chains are impossible to recreate. Look, I was personally hurt by what took place in the world. My father made stereo headphones. And in the 1980s, he went out of business basically because of competition from Japan. Now, in the 70s and 60s, he was buying components from Japan. By the 80s, they were making the headphones and they're making it cheaper and better than he was, and eventually put him out of business. Now, there were other reasons as well. So I certainly, as someone who knows that free trade can hurt, but overall, free trade has resulted in the greatest global increase in wealth worldwide. It's taken more people out of poverty than anything else that's ever happened in the world. And yes, it's been problematic for certain people, and certain people have lost some of the high-paying jobs they once had. But there are other solutions, and destroying free trade all over the world is certainly not the one that you would expect. And the last thing you'd expect, of course, from a Republican president who's not a Republican, he's a populist president. The Republican Party has stood for free trade, certainly since World War II.
Wow. So the cookie is going to continue to crumble. I'm sure we will see you back here again. Thank you very much, Marc Schulman.
My pleasure. Have a great evening.